Hello, my friends. Today I want to talk about the state of hypocrisy that surrounds us continuously, be it in the mass media, be it in your place of employment, be it uh, with your friends, in a society in general. And I will try to be as concrete as possible so I don't get in too much trouble with this communists who twist and turn each and every word and sentence you utter. There's a lot of talking about, you know, equity and inclusion and all these terms that are meant to mean something great and fantastic. Uh, Best way of analyzing if someone really believes in what they say is to see what they do. Not, if they're you want to see if someone really believes in whatever they proclaim, see what they do. And that's the best way of analyzing if a person is sincere or is fake. And this is what I mean. When someone tells you that, you know, you should bend towards a certain idea and they're really passionate about it, first make sure that they do it first. That builds a little bit of credibility. So when you hear all these people in a government, you know, and in different jobs where they tell you about, including people in, you know, in positions of authority and diversified workforce and so on. Well, look at them and see from what position they are talking. And you most likely will find people who are in position of power claiming that we we all of us should abide by the principle, let's say, of inclusion. Accept them. Look at them. Give an example. We have the Democrat Party in the United States, and they are appealing to the to certain ideas that have nothing to do with quality and meritocracy. They appeal to things that you could not control, like, for instance, age, uh, ethnicity, height, weight. Maybe not weight because you can change weight, but uh, race. These things you can't change them, and you're not allowed to change them because you can change you know, your gender, but you can't change your age or you can't change your race. So they actually are the arbiters of reality. They tell you what you can be and what you can't be according to their ideology. So look, for instance, at any institution, uh, place of employment, and you will hear, for instance, the directors or the people in charge saying about the equity and so on, and they're all white. Well, the first thing would make a person think is, well, if you want inclusion and you talk about this and all that, why don't you just quit your job and allow someone else of a different, persuasion, different from a different group take your place if you really believe in that. Unless you think you deserve to be that, but there, but us, the rest of us, we should not be, where we are. Uh, it's very interesting when you hear people saying things, but it's everything that the law. They say, okay, we should do this, we should do that, we should do this, but everything should apply up to their position. Their position should not be questioned or altered in any way. Yours, yeah, that's fine. But ours, no, 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 no. We're good where we are. We don't even take that into consideration. For instance, let's say you have a company where you have let me just give it a director, the people below them, and then below, and the supervisors. They're all, let's say, distributed in a certain way that, let's say, they don't represent the the fabric of the society. Okay, let's put it racial in a racial terms. Let's say you have the director is white, the uh, people below them are white. You have the supervisors, and they're all white, or maybe I don't know, maybe are 90% are women, and 50%, let's say, are Asian. So they don't represent the fabric of our society based on the percentages. And all these people are lecturing you that inclusion and so on, and they're all out there and they talk about the systemic racism and all that. But if you look at them, you have, let's say, 90% of the, let's say, supervisors are, let's say, Asian, and they're talking about inclusion and about talk about the systemic racism and all that. How come? Well, if you're 90% and Asians are what, 2%, 3% of the population, I'm talking about the United States. And how about you just quit about what? 70% of you get the hell out and allow for the rest. Otherwise, it's a, how do you call it? Misrepresentation. You misrepresent, and it's not the actual reality of the society. So the same, you have a director or three directors or whatever how you want to call them in charge. Let's say they're all white and they're all tell you about inclusion and all that. And you say, how come? Let's say you're three, and out of three, you're three whites. And talk about inclusion. How about, let's say, one of you quit and you get a, I don't know, a black person and so on. And how come all three women? How come not? Let's say you have four, so make it easier. So how come two of them are not men and two of them are not just women? So all these things, it's just look at what people do, and you will realize that they talk about stuff below them below them. Let's say you have this president nowadays. His name is what? Biden, and he's all for hiring everybody of different different ethnicities, races, and groups, and all that. Okay, everything is good up to him, to his level. He should stay there. He's like a god who tells us how we should live. No, why don't you quit and I don't know, put let's say I don't know, let's say an Asian woman or something, and then they try to appoint uh, people based on qualities that they didn't earn just because of what? I don't care what happened 300 years ago. I don't care what happened 500 years ago. I live now. That's my life, and I'm not gonna have another one, as far as I know. And I have children. So why should I just go back in the queue or in line and let another person go ahead of me just because that person belongs to a certain group? Because you want to make what, equity or something? Equitable? How about my life? How about my life? Why should I bend over? Why should I say, okay, yeah, that's good. You get it. So you see, look at what people do, not what people say. Because people say a lot of things and it's, talk is cheap. See what they do. See what they do. The same thing is in family. In your family or group of acquaintances or friends or whatever, how you want to call them, they talk a lot. Let's say you have a I don't know, significant other. You can't talk about a wife nowadays, or you can talk about a girlfriend if you're a male because you exclude other people. Yeah, so what? That's my preference. L- What are you going to do about it? Fire me or something? Probably. You're going to try to do this. Nowadays, these kids, yeah, kids' brains in adult bodies, they will do that. They will try to do that. Well, when you have the kids in charge, what do you expect? What do you expect? There is a imbalance between the title and the ability. It's unfortunate. There's certain things that the positions in society need to be covered, occupied by people. But if you don't have people to choose from, you have to work with people who are available. And if all people that you have to pick up from or to choose from are, let's pick a nice word, incapable of doing their job, and you have to pick someone, you're going to pick someone who's going to get in that position, and that position is going to screw up things. And that's how you have a society where you have people with titles and they have no abilities whatsoever, just a big mouth and an ideology. It's bad because you have such people who make decisions, who have authority, and then they're inefficient. That's losing money, losing lives in certain situations, and so on. Um, I just had to talk about this um, hypocritical way of acting. Everybody should do something but me. And I tell you guys what to do, but the law stops just before me. It doesn't reach me. I'm above and beyond the law, out of the law's reach. Um, it's just with this kind of society and this kind of attitude, you either run it in the ground and break it, or I don't know, the adults in the society eventually take over somehow, intellectually, or I don't know, somehow, because it can't go like this. I mean, it can, but you get to a level of a third world country, or I don't even want to. I don't want to install the third world countries, but it's just fake appearances, no substance, no substance. It's very interesting when I came here, everybody knew to do everything. Oh, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. And when I asked them to do it, they performed poorly, poorly. But they thought they did it right, and you were not supposed to say they did it wrong, or they were inefficient because you were insensitive. But that was the truth. So what are you going to take? Hurting someone's feelings or reality? Okay. If you're a person who's not in the right place, what am I supposed to do? You're the right. I don't want to hurt your feelings, so I'm going to continue behaving like the emperor has no clothes. Is that how it's going to be? It's just it's all around me. It's all around us here. But you have to see it, unless you're one of them, and you either see it because you're a coward and you're a thief, actually, or you simply don't see it. You just think that things are the way they are because, and that's the way they should be, and you're fantastic. And if someone challenges you, you call that person names. You frame them in a certain group just because that person uses brain, and you can't use your brain. You live in an in a alternate reality. Well, this was a little rant, but I don't care. There are certain things that need to be said, and people keep all these things down. And I don't know. These things need to be said, and I just did, and I will continue to do it. So stay smart, stay strong, and see you next time. Ciao, bye bye.